Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Tuesday, the 18th of November, 2014. Hope you're having a great trading week. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. Very slow session on Monday to start the week. It really was about as poor as you can get in terms of activity and range. There wasn't a lot of movement. Volume was poor. Only 1.5 billion NASDAQ shares traded. We had what we call a volume warning after the first hour here at Tradesight. Just saw that there wasn't enough there to get excited about ththings. Here's the S&P E-mini futures contract. This is the daily chart. We are looking for, well, you can see it's been dead flat now for 6 days, and looking for signs of life either way here. Get back to some of the volatility we saw in October. At any rate, there's no sign of it yet. We do have options expiration this week, as you know, and hopefully that will get something moving in terms of these activity. And that starts probably on Wednesday with the unraveling move. Meanwhile, in terms of economic data, we've got the PPI in the morning. That's about it for tomorrow. Wednesday, we have housing starts, building permits, crude oil inventories, and the minutes from the last Fed meeting. And that day could also be the day we get options unraveling move. If we don't get it Wednesday, we'll probably get it Thursday. Thursday also shows us the CPI. There's no economic data on Friday, and that is options expiration. So Friday is going to be a slow day, probably even slower than today was. But hopefully, the bigger trading days of the week are usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And with options expiration and unravel, hopefully we get something going here in the middle of the week. So that's a look at the ES. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ side. Again, pretty flat today. The NDX lost 11. The S&P gained 1 on the session. Here's a look at the stocks. The semiconductor index lost 3. Here's a look at the biotechs. They were up 8. A little bounce there. Here's a look at crude oil. Down at $75 a barrel. And the VIX closed up a little bit at almost 14. A little bounce there in the VIX. Let's look at the intraday action. We'll go back to the ES front month futures contract. We'll look at it in 5-minute bars. And you can see here how flat. This shows you Friday, which was incredibly flat, and then today, and both of them basically the same high and low. And they're only about 8 points of range there for the whole thing. So it's a very, very poor Friday, Monday action. And it's unusual. This is a time of year where the market's usually a little more active than this. Volume's usually up. We've been seeing it, but all of a sudden this last week, it's really petered off. And so it'll be interesting to see when it picks back up. Next week's a short week with Thanksgiving. We all know that. We really only have 2 days of real trading, which is Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, everybody heads out the door for the long weekend. Thursday, the markets are closed. Friday is a half day that nobody trades, and we won't be here either. So it's really just Monday, Tuesday next week. But usually this week's a good week, and hopefully we still get that move that we would expect for this time of year. At any rate, we will be in the lab calling it as usual, helping you out, trying to make some money in whatever the market provides us with. Have a great trading session, and we hope to see you there.